Chapter 1. I want to show you something that the author does, quite clever things. They use different fonts as they go along. I think that's pretty cool. There's a whole series of books in this series, so if you like this one, you'll be able to find the rest in the library, I'm sure. Chapter 1, Ka-choo! There was a big puddle of spit on my little brother's forehead. It was mine. But phew, he was still sleeping. Let me tell you what happened. I had been in my bed attempting to have a good night's sleep, when suddenly I was being chased through the playground by a teacher who had green slime oozing out of his ears and slugs for fingernails. It was a dream. A bad dream, of course. When I woke up, I was extremely and very happy that I wasn't about to be a monster's dinner. I breathed slowly to get my heartbeat back to normal, instead of like I was on a trampoline. I remember that my mum told me to spit towards my shoulder 3 times if I have a nightmare. It must be like a superstition or something, spit towards your shoulder 3 times. That's supposed to get rid of Shaitan. Shaitan, who is the ugly head who causes bad dreams. I really wanted to get rid of Shaitan, so I conjured up a bucket full of spit in my mouth, shot it out over my left shoulder. That'll teach him, I thought. I just hoped it would dry before morning, so nobody would know I'd spat on my little brother by accident. I put my head back on the pillow for an 1/8 of a second, and then I heard a really loud and really annoying sound. Wow! Of course. See? Very loud and very annoying. It was Isa. I guess he noticed the spitball after all and wasn't impressed. Mum appeared at the door of our room in her pajamas, looking all blurry-eyed. There's a picture here of Mum. I'll show you. Unimpressed parent. It says, unimpressed parent can be recognised by... Okay, we'll stop for a minute. Turn and tell your reading partner what you think an unimpressed parent would look like. Okay, let's see. Hand on hip. Eyebrows like this. An unimpressed parent can be recognised by hand on hip, furrowed eyebrows, can be scary, but do not run away. She said, "What's the matter, Isa?" Isa was still busy wailing, so I said, "Spitball." "Oh, not again, Omar." Wah! I covered my head with the pillow. Then Dad came in, saying that it would be nice if we could have at least one night in the week where poor Isa wasn't woken up by my shenanigans. I asked him what that meant for the 1000th time, and he rolled his eyes for the 1000th time. Let's see if I can find my headphone. Just fell out. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I heard my big sister Miriam growling in her room. She definitely doesn't like mornings very much. Mum said it was almost Fajr time. Now these are Islamic words or Arabic words that I don't actually know how to pronounce. So F-A-J-R, if anyone's in the room that can pronounce that or help me with any of these, I'm really eager to learn more. Mum said it was almost Fajr time, F-A-J-R. I wondered if Allah was going to give me a reward for waking them up for Fajr. Okay, there's a little picture here, like a graph that shows you the names of all the different prayer times. You know there are 5 prayer times a day. See if you... Let me see if I can focus it. No. So there's the dawn prayer, the noon prayer, middle of the day, the afternoon prayer, the sunset prayer, and the night prayer. Chapter 2. The reason I've been having bad dreams, especially bad dreams about teachers, was because I was going to be starting a new school. And this made me feel like there were snakes in my tummy. And some of them were sneaking up and squeezing my heart. I don't like things to change. It'd be so much more convenient and better for everyone if things always stayed the same. Some people don't mind change. Some people really, really, really get anxious about change. Take my pajamas, for example. They're utterly comfortable pajamas, which somehow molded into their shape to my body and become my second skin. A weird second skin that I can take off and put on, like some kind of cool human lizard. But my mum tried to throw them away and wanted me to wear crispy pajamas that don't even have dinosaurs on them. This is change and it's super annoying. One big fat huge change that already happened to me, we had to move house, which is the reason I had to start a new school. And all this happened because Mum got her dream job. Fair enough. When she told me, I couldn't help wondering what she meant exactly by dream job. Dream job. Job you dream of? Yeah? Did it mean that adults have super boring dreams all about jobs? If that was true, I wasn't looking forward to being an adult because at the moment I dream about fun stuff like being on a roller coaster that turns into a flying pig. Sometimes they're even better than movies, well, apart from the scary ones that make me feel really lucky when I wake up and realise they're not for real. So anyway, the job that Mum must have dreamt about all the time was too far from where we lived before, so we had to move. And the moving bit was very, 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 very times 100 annoying. Look, times 100 annoying. Because Dad said I couldn't put all the 1,267 bits and bobs and toys from my room into boxes and take them to my new house. He didn't exactly count my things, but he likes to say exact numbers when he's talking, so he can sound smart. He said I had to choose the ones that I love the most and give the rest to charity. Why didn't he understand that I love them all? Now, this is a chance to turn and talk, but listen. I'm guessing for a lot of us, we've moved. For most of us, Singapore is not our home country. So, maybe you've moved houses, maybe you've moved whole countries. Let's have a few minutes where you can talk about that experience with the people around you about moving. If you've enjoyed that conversation, we could carry on with it at one of our morning meetings if you'd like. You let me know. I love all the toys, but then he said he would be very proud of me if I could choose because I would have done better than Mum, who had already packed lots of what Dad called boxes of hoarded goods. When you hoard, you take stuff you don't need. Not steal, but you keep stuff you don't need. I like Dad being proud of me, especially because it normally means pain au chocolat for breakfast. Those are croissants full of chocolate. So I chose 56 bits and bobs to take with me. I counted them really carefully so I could be precise when Dad asked, and also make sure that nobody sneakily threw anything away without me noticing. The good news was that the new house was super, super cool. When I first saw it, Miriam and I ran straight into the garden and whooped because it was at least twice the size of our old one. We planned out where we could put a football net and Issa's climbing frame, and Miriam did loads of cartwheels to prove just how massive it was. That was the first time we saw the little old lady who lived next door. Ooh, introducing a new character. She peeped over her fence and said, "Humph." She put her nose higher in the air as if she was smelling something there and she put her nose higher in the air as if she was smelling something there that she didn't like. Okay, let's make a brainstorm perhaps of what we think the characteristics or the character traits of that neighbour are. Let's have some predictions, okay? Maybe we're wrong, but let's have some predictions.